Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and it's time for our language arts overview. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to read this Superman partner play that is teaching you about trying something new. You get to color this picture, trying something new and exercising. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is our phonics for the week. Our phonics focus is on the sound ah, as in straw. The sound ah can be made many different ways. So you're going to say each word and then underline the part of the word that says ah in each word. Then read each sentence and underline the words with the ah sound. Then circle the letters that say ah. This is just like we used to do with our smartboard in class all together. So we'll do this all together. All right, so ball. So the A is saying ah. Yawn, just like in straw over here, it's AW that's saying ah. Fault, AU is saying ah. Taught, it's the AUGH all together. That is saying, I shouldn't say U, I'm sorry, AW, the AW sound. Ah, ah. All right, so AUGH all together is saying ah. And over here, it's OUGH that's saying ah. Chalk, the AL is saying ah. Call, it's the A. Here we have AU, which is also AUGH right here, because what they should have done over here is they should have had OUGH in addition to AUGH. So AUGH is saying ah. Crawl, AW is saying ah. And here we have scald. So it's just the A that's saying ah, because the L we're saying it. We're saying scald, old. We hear the L. Here it's AU, ah, cause, talk. We don't say talk, we say talk. So the L's not talking, so it's the AL together that's saying ah. Here we have OUGH in the word thought. Here we have small, and the L's are talking, so it's just the A. And here we have hawk. It's the AW saying ah. Paul taught me to draw a hawk. So we have Paul. First we are going to underline the words with I'm going to underline them down low since we're circling. Those words all say ah, and here it says ah, this says ah, this says ah, and this says ah. You should be following along with me on your paper and making sure that you're getting the same things circled, just like we would be doing together in class. All right, we ought to walk to the mall. We have ought is saying ah, walk is saying ah, and mall is saying ah. So here it's OUGH. Here it's AL, and here it's just the A, because we don't say walk to the mall. We say walk, so it's the AL together saying ah. Last, Ruth caught the ball. Caught and ball. Ah and ah. All right, from there, we're going on to our theme for the week, which is protecting the earth. And the question is, how can we protect the earth? The earth has many resources such as water, air, and land. These children are protecting the earth from pollution. Here are some other ways we can protect the earth's resources. Save water. Turn off the faucet while brushing your teeth. Keep the air supply clean. Have your parents turn off the car when they are waiting for someone. And then you can talk about ways that you can help protect the earth's resources with somebody else, or you can just think about it on your own. And then on this page, our graphic organizer, you can answer in these areas, these ovals here, how can we protect the earth? So we saw 2 ideas on the previous page, and I'm just going to add one. I'm going to write, I can use less plastic. Period. There are so many ways we can protect the earth. I'm sure you can come up with ways to fill in all of those bubbles and then maybe even add some more. You might have lots and lots of ideas. Our vocabulary words for this week are going to help us to read our stories. The first word is curious, and I'm going to use it in a sentence. I am curious to find out what is in the box. Distance. Lily waved from a distance, but her friend did not see her. See how she's waving to a ship? She could be saying, ahoy, like we talked about in our word ladder. Earth's resources. Earth and water and trees are important earth resources. Earth resources. Enormous. That bird looked tiny on top of the enormous rhinoceros. The next word, gently. The girls gently patted the puppy at the shelter. Proudly. Julia smiled proudly when she finished her painting. Rarely. It rarely rains in the dry desert. Supply. The teacher has a supply of colored pencils for the class. So go back and read all of those sentences again so that you practice saying those words. And then on this page, you are going to use those words and figure out which word is the correct one by using the context of the sentence that they're in. You're not defining it. You're not saying curious means to be interested in something. You're going to find words that show that it is show that somebody is curious. So let's start with number 1. We saw Anne. So there's a hint. When you say Anne, you know that a vowel is going to be beginning the next word. We saw Anne blank elephant at the zoo. Curious, so maybe it is a curious elephant, but it doesn't start with a vowel. Distance, an elephant isn't a distance elephant. Enormous, look at that, there's the vowel, and that makes sense that elephants are enormous. I'm going to cross that off, and I'm going to write enormous right there. Okay, next, we blank get any snow in the summer. So, curious, distance, we distance get any snow, no, gently, we gently get any, that doesn't make sense. We proudly get any snow, that doesn't make sense. Rarely, we rarely get any snow in the summer. So that makes sense, rarely, that means it doesn't happen very often because it's summertime. And snow, that would be a rare thing to happen in the summer. I actually have lived someplace where it snowed in the summer, but it was rare. I've never seen it snow in the summer here. Okay, so read the rest of these sentences and see if you can tell from the context of the sentence which word goes in the blank. And then snap a picture of it and send it to me, please. The next thing you're going to be doing is reading this fiction story. That means it's not true. But most fiction stories are ones that could possibly, not most. This fiction story is one that really could happen. Some fiction stories are like science fiction or other kinds of fiction that really couldn't happen, like fantasy. But here, you're going to be answering the essential question, how can we protect the earth? And reading the story to see what other students are doing to protect the earth. You'll see your words highlighted. It might be in black and white. Our vocabulary words are highlighted, and you can see how those are used in context and learn more about using those words. So after you read that, you are going to write a paragraph. You're going to tell about a way you can help protect the Earth's resources, or write about why it is important to protect the Earth's resources. Introduce your topic, use transition words like first, next, then last, another, also, in conclusion, etc. So an introductory sentence could be something like, one way that I can protect the Earth's resources is to recycle plastic, period. And then you could say, first, I could gather the plastic in my house and make sure it doesn't go in the trash. Next, I could talk to my friends about it. So in that way, you're going to introduce your idea and then give some reasons that support your idea and have a conclusion, making sure to use transition words, capitals, and periods. right, have a good rest of your day.